Growing up, I was told to never close my eyes in the shower. I should have listened. Ever since I was old enough to take showers on my own, I've been warned about closing my eyes in the shower. It sounds like such a ridiculous thing to be warned about, and I will admit that I didn't take it as seriously as I should have until I had a first-hand experience into what happens when you ignore this warning. The first time I did it, I was around 9 or 10 years old. I don't remember much, except that I was standing there, washing my hair as my mother's voice played over and over again in my head, telling me not to close my eyes. As I thought about the things that might happen that were apparently so bad that nobody would even tell me about them, I began to feel freaked out. Like I was being watched. Of course, wanting to be brave, I scoffed and closed my eyes. I only did it for about 2 seconds the first time. It was almost just a blink. When nothing happened, I did it for longer and kept doing that, gradually increasing the time that I had my eyes closed for. Once I kept my eyes closed for 10 seconds, I noticed that I could no longer feel the water hitting me from above. I stuck one hand out, but there was nothing. I remember slowly opening one eye to notice that I was no longer in my shower. I was in a weird abandoned pool in a dark, dirty building. The tile in the pool was covered in green plants and what appeared to be moss. I opened my other eye so I could take a look around, and crossed my arms over my chest, extremely aware of the fact that I was exposed. I could hear something running above me, outside the pool, but I wasn't able to see anything. "Hello?" I called, my voice cracking. Suddenly, I caught movement toward the left corner of the pool and I noticed a shape was running directly at me. I was frozen in place as the thing came closer and I realized it was another person, covered in the green plants and moss around us, wide-eyed. They ran directly at me and threw me back, pushing both of their hands against my chest. "Not yet," they shouted. I was unable to tell if the voice was male or female, and the next thing I knew, there was a series of flashing lights that hurt my eyes. I squinted and noticed that my surroundings were changing from the old pool to my bathroom shower over and over again. It was starting to make me dizzy and my vision went dark as I fell. When I woke up, I was in my shower, the water falling over me as I laid in the tub. My elbow and ribs hurt, most likely from the way I had fallen down. I got up, rinsed myself and jumped out of the shower, dressing in a hurry, my clothing sticking to my damp skin. I was careful not to close my eyes for long periods of time after that. There were a few moments where I wasn't as careful as I should have been and got shampoo in my eyes. When that happened, I raced to rinse my eyes and hair as quickly as I could, but I would always see the old pool for a split second. It was just 1 second, and yet, it was the most fear I have ever felt in my entire life. I'm 23 now, and I still try my hardest not to close my eyes in the shower. In fact, I try my best to shower as fast as possible, and sometimes, when I'm extremely freaked out, I opt for washing my hair in my sink, so that there's no way I'll accidentally get shampoo in my eyes. 2 days ago, I took a normal shower. Everything was fine, and I was almost finished, when I accidentally squirted body wash straight into my left eye. I felt my heartbeat speed up immediately, as I held my face under the water. I frantically rinsed my eyes and face, trying to get the burning sensation out of my eyes so I could open it again. I closed them both for less than a second, and when I opened them again, the bathtub was changing underneath me. The white porcelain was morphing into the dirty, moss-covered tile of the old pool that I had seen in my nightmares since the first time I had seen it. I started freaking out, as I finished rinsing my eye. I turned the shower water off and sped out of the shower, throwing myself through the curtain as I stepped out of the side, banging my shin against the side of the tub in the process. I grabbed my towel off the rack on the wall and wrapped it around me, limping out of the bathroom and into my bedroom where I closed and locked the door. I leaned against my bedroom door, trying to slow my breathing. After a few minutes, I got dressed and avoided the bathroom for the rest of the night. At around 2 in the morning, I awoke with a sudden urge to pee. I tried to ignore it, flipping over to my other side and closing my eyes, but the feeling only got stronger and so I begrudgingly got up and walked into the bathroom. I pushed the door open and stood just outside the doorway, flipping the light switch on and staring at myself in the mirror above the sink. I closed my eyes and blinked a few times as my eyes adjusted to the sudden change in light. Finally, I stepped into the bathroom, leaving the door open behind me and proceeded to do my business. As I was washing my hands, I could hear a weird noise coming from the bathtub. It almost sounded like water was running down the drain, which was impossible. There was no way there was still any water in there. I approached the tub and threw the shower curtain open, to see that my tub and shower were gone. Instead of the porcelain tub and black tiled walls, there was now a portion of the old pool. I stared down at the small puddles of murky water, and the different types of grass and plants that were growing in it. I looked up and scanned the area, once again hearing footsteps above ground, but I wasn't able to see anything. There were some old deteriorating benches and graffitied brick walls that surrounded the pool, as well as a few trees that had grown inside the building. I scanned the area for the person that I had seen the last time, but there didn't appear to be anyone around. At least, not at first. Unfortunately, I quickly noticed that the shrubbery that covered the bottom of the pool was uneven and bumpy, and I bent down to get a closer look. That's when I noticed that there were people buried underneath everything. The plants were sort of encasing the bodies, and I was able to make out the shapes of a few faces. I backed up, trying to stop myself from shouting and drawing any unwanted attention. I heard the sound again, and I realized there was something out there that was making that sound. I shivered and threw the shower curtain closed again as I backed out of the bathroom. I couldn't sleep for the rest of the night and was up again in about 3 hours. I forced myself to go into the bathroom again where I noticed that this, whatever it was spreading and had now taken over about 2/3 of my bathroom. I walked out of the bathroom and grabbed my car keys and phone. I sped through my apartment, making my way to the front door. As soon as I threw it open, however, I was met with an old overgrown clearing in the middle of the woods. Confused, I stepped outside far enough to get a look at my apartment. Instead of being on the third floor of the complex, the building that stood before me was old and worn down, like its surroundings. There were vines and moss growing on the outside of it, and I could tell that parts of the building were beginning to fall off. I ran back inside, slamming the door shut. I've been inside ever since. Little by little, the abandoned pool and building have taken over my apartment. The only room left now is the kitchen. Eventually, I know that I'll be stuck here, forced to survive in whatever this place is. I've been trying to contact family members, friends, even the police for help, but none of my calls or texts have gone through. I'm not even sure this will end up anywhere. Even if it did, I'm not sure you could help. I guess this is better than not trying. There's something else here. I haven't seen the person that I saw years back when I was first here, but I can hear something outside. It sounds huge. Its footsteps shake the area, and its shadow blocks out all the light as it passes by the building. I don't think it knows I'm here yet.